In Mission Impossible, after a mission in Kiev, Jim Phelps and his IMF team are sent to Prague to stop rogue agent Alexander Golitsyn from stealing the CIA NOC list. The mission fails, and the team is killed, leaving Ethan Hunt as the only survivor. He is debriefed and realizes the operation was a setup to uncover a mole within the IMF. Ethan escapes and discovers that Job 314 refers to the mole's code name. Phelps's wife, Claire, is alive and reveals that they were compromised before the mission. Ethan makes a deal with arms dealer Max to obtain the real NOC list. He recruits Luther Stickel and Franz Krieger to help. They infiltrate CIA headquarters, steal the authentic list, and expose Phelps as the mole. During a tense exchange on a train, Phelps kills Claire and attempts to escape with the money. Ethan stops him, causing the helicopter to crash into the Channel Tunnel, killing Phelps and Krieger. Kittredge apprehends Max and retrieves the NOC list. Ethan contemplates his future with the IMF, and as he boards a flight home, he is offered a new mission as team leader. In Mission Impossible 2, a biogenetics scientist contacts his old friend Dimitri seeking help, revealing that his employer forced him to create a dangerous virus for profit. Nekorvich injects himself with the virus and carries the cure. However, IMF agent Sean Ambrose, posing as Dimitri, betrays him and steals the cure. IMF director Swanbeck assigns Ethan the task of recovering the virus and its cure. He recruits Naya Nordhoff-Hall, Ambrose's ex-girlfriend and a skilled thief, to help track him down. They follow Ambrose to Sydney, where the virus's samples are kept. Along with his team, Luther and Billy, Ethan prepares to destroy the virus. During a fierce battle, Naya injects herself with the virus to prevent an outbreak, leaving Ethan determined to find a cure for her. Ambrose plans to sell the virus to the highest bidder, intending to create a global pandemic. In the end, Ethan defeats Ambrose, retrieves the cure and saves Naya from her desperate situation. The IMF clears Naya's name, and Ethan decides to spend his vacation with her in Sydney. Ethan Hunt, retired from IMF, trains recruits and is engaged to nurse Julia Mead. He is approached by John Musgrave for a mission to rescue Lindsay Ferris, captured while investigating arms dealer Owen Davian. Ethan's team rescues Lindsay, but she dies due to an explosive pellet in her head. Ethan discovers a microdot from Lindsay with a warning about Brassel and Davian. The team learns Davian is after a biological hazard known as the rabbit's foot. Ethan plans an unofficial mission to capture Davian and marries Julia before leaving. The team successfully captures Davian, but he threatens to kill everyone Ethan cares about. Lindsay's warning leads them to suspect Brassel's involvement. Julia gets kidnapped, and Davian demands the rabbit's foot for her release. IMF apprehends Ethan, but Musgrave secretly helps him escape to Shanghai. Ethan retrieves the rabbit's foot and delivers it to Davian, who implants an explosive in Ethan's head. Julia is shot but survives, and Ethan defeats Davian, rescues Julia, and deactivates the explosive. Julia helps him in the battle, and Ethan finally reveals his IMF career to her. In Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, an IMF agent is killed by an assassin in Budapest, who steals Russian nuclear launch codes to sell to a man known as Cobalt. Ethan Hunt, along with Jane Carter and Benji Dunn, is tasked with stopping the sale of these codes. Their mission is to infiltrate the Kremlin for information on Cobalt, but it results in a massive explosion, leading to Ethan's arrest. He later escapes custody and discovers that Cobalt is actually Kurt Hendricks, who aims to start a nuclear war between the US and Russia. The IMF is disavowed, and Ethan's team must stop Hendricks. They track Hendricks to Dubai, where they attempt to intercept the launch codes. Despite a complex plan, they are forced to hand over the real codes. Morau is killed, and they discover Hendricks' plan to buy a Soviet military satellite. In Mumbai, they retrieve the satellite's override code and pursue Hendricks to a broadcast station. They prevent a nuclear missile launch and confront Hendricks, who meets his end. The IMF is cleared of wrongdoing, and Ethan receives a new mission related to the Syndicate terrorist network. In Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, IMF agent Ethan Hunt intercepts a nerve gas shipment by the Syndicate, a clandestine organization of rogue intelligence operatives. During a debrief in London, the Syndicate reveals its infiltration of the IMF, leading to Ethan's capture and the execution of an IMF agent. Ethan escapes captivity and covertly passes Syndicate information to Benji. They team up to identify the Syndicate's leader, Solomon Lane. While thwarting an assassination attempt in Vienna, they encounter undercover MI6 agent Ilse Faust. Chased by Syndicate and CIA agents, Ethan and Benji must go on the run. Brandt and Luther Stickel locate them, and it's revealed that Benji has the Syndicate's data. They travel to London, where Lane's men abduct Benji to force Ethan to decrypt the data. They discover that the Syndicate's origins were hidden from the British Prime Minister, and Lane intended to use the stolen funds to fuel the organization. In the end, Ethan dismantles the Syndicate, and the IMF is reinstated, with Hunley becoming its new secretary. In Mission Impossible Fallout, after Solomon Lane's capture, the Syndicate reforms as the Apostles, hired by John Lark to obtain plutonium cores for nuclear bombs. IMF agent Ethan Hunt must recover the plutonium. During a Berlin mission, the Apostles take teammate Luther Stickle hostage, allowing them to steal the cores. The IMF tricks nuclear expert Nils Delbruck to unlock Lark's phone. Furious at the IMF's failure, the CIA sends Agent Walker to assist Ethan. They infiltrate a Paris nightclub where Lark is to buy plutonium. A fight ensues, leading to Lark's death. Ethan assumes Lark's identity to meet broker Alana Mitsopoulos. Ethan must extract Lane from an armored convoy, but he's framed as Lark. A chase ensues, Walker kills IMF Secretary Hunley, and the team discovers the real Lark, leading to a showdown. At a medical camp, Lane plans to detonate nuclear bombs. Ethan defeats Walker, disarms the bombs, and secures the detonator. In the end, Lane is handed over to MI6, and Ethan is praised for his actions, while Julia expresses gratitude for the life he's given her. In Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, a high-tech Russian submarine named Sevastopol uses a powerful AI that tricks its crew into attacking a fake enemy, and then turns the submarine's weapons on itself, killing everyone aboard. Ethan Hunt, an IMF agent, heads to the Arabian desert to obtain a crucial part of a key needed to control this rogue AI. He gets it from Ilsa Faust and pretends she's dead. Back in Washington, Ethan learns about the dangerous AI, which can manipulate global defense, intelligence, and financial systems. To stop the chaos, Ethan and his team rush to get the other part of the key. He chases down a thief named Grace, who's stolen the key. Along the way, they encounter an entity operative named Gabriel and have to outsmart him. Grace agrees to steal back the key during a sale on the Orient Express. The mission unfolds on the moving train, leading to a showdown with Gabriel. Ethan saves Grace, but Gabriel escapes with the key. The story ends with a paraglider rescue, an explosion, and a revelation about the key's importance to the entity.